The Mammoths' Logan Cooley scoring 4 consecutive goals on a 5-point night. Utah defeats the Golden Knights 5-1 in the rematch. Jack Eichel with a big turnover in the game. We'll recap last night's game and much, much more ahead on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again from Las Vegas. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. Welcome to Locked On Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. I'm a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the Believe in Vegas podcast. Chris is the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports, and also the host of the Hockey News Collectibles Show. Coming up ahead on today's show, should we be overly concerned about Jack Eichel turnovers and VGK lines at full strength? We are brought to you today by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app today. Visit FanDuel.com, and you could win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. And we remind you once again that you could catch us daily on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Check us out. SSSEN is the place to be, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. You could also find that show on YouTube TV or on Cox Cable Channel 77. So, Chris, Bruce Cassidy said in the aftermath of last night's loss on the road.
Win for Utah.
That he knew that Utah would be much better in the second meeting in 5 days between VGK and the Mammoth. He said the Golden Knights are not a good starting team, and Utah was. Of course, Utah last night did win. They scored twice in the first period, including the first of 4 Logan Cooley goals. He was on a absolute heater, as the kids might say. And Cassidy said that his team responded well in the second period, and that is when Ivan Barbashev scored the only goal of the night for VGK. He had an assist on that play. Jack Eichel hits his 20th assist, and Braden Bowen also assisted on that play. But for the most part, VGK just they were outgunned and outmanned in this game, to put it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cassidy hit the nail on the head about what he said early on. Utah starts well. The Golden Knights do not start well, which for a veteran franchise, a lot of Stanley Cup pedigree, you would certainly expect more, game 22 or 23 into the regular season, whatever the number is right now. It's just not a great way to end a very unique road trip. But on the positive, Golden Knights had a 6-game point streak refresh, and the Golden Knights got a large pocket of games at home coming up over the next, not 5 home games in 7 days or something like that. There's a lot of home games all of a sudden coming up. So Golden Knights hopefully can get back on it.
Yeah, I think there's 4. I think there's 4 in the stretch.
4 between Ottawa and Chicago. Gotcha.
Wasn't it Pavel Dorofeev hitting the post, and then moments later, the Mammoth come back and score? It's been that way, I think, for the Golden Knights a lot of the times this season.
There's 2 ways you can look at this game. You can look at this game as Utah had a great start. Golden Knights couldn't, do a lot of things defensively in the game. You could also look at some of the bad luck in the game, right? What I think Cassie said, 2 or 3 posts in the second period, and it was a really good second period of hockey. You're watching, you're thinking, okay, this is a kind of familiar territory for the Vegas Golden Knights. They'll find a way to get back into it, and then unfortunately, leading into the third segment, Eichel had an unfortunate play right there, and Logan Cooley comes right down, and that's that.
Yeah, Cassidy he stopped short of blaming anything on Eichel. He just said it was a really brutal bad turnover in that situation. Let's talk about Cassidy last night pulling the goaltender Carl Lindbaum with about 4 minutes to go, which is not, I know they're down 2 goals, but that's not typical Bruce Cassidy there. And they bring in the extra skater, and it backfired as the Golden Knights lost a couple of board battles, leading to 2 empty net goals by Logan Cooley. And it was just last month, by the way, that Cooley signed that massive Mammoth contract, and that was the 8-year extension for $80 million, the $10 million man, and starting to pay dividends there in Salt Lake City.
Losing board battles, that's becoming you're after my own heart making a comment like that. I love looking at stuff like this. So looking at the visualizer, which we can't show anymore, but it's Mitch Marner that loses the board battle. Golden Knights, like, they executed their entry okay. It's dump and chase play, get the puck deep and go to work, and unfortunately the Golden Knights couldn't find a way to get that one deep. And then on the last empty net, we've reached the stage of the year we're breaking down empty net goals here, unfortunately, but that's the reality. Logan Cooley, future Golden Knight, scoring 2 empty netters in one game. Yeah, looks like Bowman looks like he was the one that lost the other one. So, unfortunate things happen at the end of the game where the Golden Knights just weren't, clean with the puck. And it's not the type of game the Golden Knights, they're going to leave and say flush the footage or anything like that. There's certainly some things to take away. The goal that I don't like is the second goal. It's from a faceoff. It's a lost faceoff, and White Cloud, for whatever reason, just gets stuck pinching, hurdle, turns the puck over. And I mean, they are down the ice and it looks like 3 seconds from the moment the puck is dropped to when it winds up in the back of the nets. The first goal, Eichel, again, lost board battle, can't get the puck deep. It's a good reload by Utah. I almost said Arizona. It's a good reload by Utah. They just come in. They're so quick once they get in the zone. And watching their power play too, they move that puck so fast. And this is another team. Like, this is, I mean, listen, I know we want the Golden Knights to win and do well and everything, but you look at these young franchises and what the upside is. You add Utah now to that list. Maybe Utah was on the list before teams like the Ducks and Montreal, but it's a lot of fun, this new youth movement in the NHL.
It really is. It's making things real exciting by American Thanksgiving. Will VGK be in a playoff spot by American Thanksgiving later this week?
I don't know if they could drop that far or not. I mean, I think they're going to maybe be 1 point out of the playoffs or 2 points from leading the Pacific is kind of how it's shaken out right now.
That's crazy. Yeah, it sure is. And again, that point streak ends at 6 games. But even though they're getting points, they're not getting the W's, as we mentioned, of course, losing all of those overtime games. I want to talk more.
They could find themselves out of a playoff position, Tony. Sorry to cut you off there, but they're like tied for the 7th/8th seed right now. So I guess Wednesday's games could be interesting.
It's a big one here. Yeah,
it is. Big game, huge game.
It definitely is. And again, 70%, that's the theory.
Yeah.
70% of the teams that are in a playoff position at American Thanksgiving, they make it into the playoffs. So it's a pretty interesting stat, but that's a barometer that they use a lot in the NHL. I don't really prescribe to it because there's so much hockey to be played after Thanksgiving.
Trends matter a little bit sometimes.
Sometimes they do. Yeah, sometimes. I'll give them that, right? But I did want to talk about Carl Lindbaum.
Good, me too.
And just the statement by Cassidy that said he was fine in the game. He said one puck went off of his foot, but other than that, I guess he can't get the guy down, right? Because he's a young goal minder, and you just have to try to keep him as positive as you can. I would think maybe that's part of what he was doing. But
all 3 goals, I mean, just tight. I mean, the first goal, it's happened so fast. Should he have saved it or shouldn't he have? They can argue among that. That's certainly not why they won or lost the game. The Golden Knights blow a face-off zone coverage that basically leads to a quick, not necessarily a 2-on-1, but just a quick centering pass where White Cloud just blew his coverage there. White Cloud was terrible on that goal, unfortunately. And then the third goal before the madness happens is an Eichel turnover. So Lindbaum, I think, is more, I'm not going to say it's more bad luck because it's been a number of games since he's won, so he's got to do a little bit better. But last night, he gave the Golden Knights a chance to win. And if there's one thing a goalie is responsible for and nothing more or nothing
less. The next
less,
save. Don't say the next save.
No. It's giving the team a chance to win. Yes or no? Did Lindbaum give the team a chance to win? The answer is yes.
Okay. I just didn't think that they had pep in their step last night, pretty much from the outset. I was watching the game, Steve Karp and I and some other media folks at the Players Era. We were at the basketball tournament, and I had it on the computer, and folks were watching. So I should have charged them for my nighttime minus. Coming up next,
Sure.
Chris, you got this? Wow. On the napkin, Eichel. Eichel is a turnover machine.
He is.
We'll get to that next on Lockdown Golden Knights. Hockey season is officially here, and nothing beats being in the arena for all of those big games. But let's get real. Getting tickets could be an absolute headache. And between waiting in queues, surprise fees, and prices that jump up right before checkout, it's easy to get frustrated and then just walk away. That's where Gametime comes in. The app gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack, and it could do it for scoring amazing NHL tickets fast, easy, and also stress-free, which is so important. I recently used Gametime to score some tickets. Of course, I told you about the ones that I bought for the Toronto game. Looking forward to that on January the 15th, I think it is. But I love that you can see what you pay, and there's no hidden fees at checkout. That is an absolute plus. They have these zone deals. They're a game changer, and you pick the section. Gametime picks the seats, and you save big. And now you can even find NHL tickets sometimes for under $25. So check it out. And again, our hack is to wait for the last moment and check out, of course, Gametime before you go into the arena. I think that's probably, if you're scoring tickets late, especially for the Ottawa game, it's a good thing to try. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Gametime today. Download the Gametime app, create an account. Use the promo code LOCKDOWNNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. That is the promo code LOCKDOWNNHL, $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Back on this edition of Lockdown Golden Knights from Las Vegas, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. We appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for making us your first listen, of course. And thank you so much for all the great comments there on YouTube, on X, and of course, folks that tune in to the show daily on SSSEN cable channel 77 on the Cox box, right? You can say they still have they don't have the box anymore, but in any event, and then just an update on our schedule for this week. We'll do shows up until Thursday. We'll do a combo show for Thursday and Friday, so it'll be like what the Thursday Friday. Is there such a thing there? So you did want to talk about Jack Eichel, and I guess the intern went wild and called him a turnover machine.
He is.
And you sent over a stat here that is real interesting, which you can talk a little bit more about, but it is individual player career stats, NHL scoring leaders, and then it goes into players that have the most giveaways. Now, is this just for this season? Is that for this season?
Yeah. So number one, where this came from, woke up checking Twitter like I always do, and Mr. Zero VB. The Eichel turnovers just keep piling up. I was at the game in Utah. I wonder if you got your tickets on Gametime. At least 3 very costly, nonchalant giveaways. So my gut reaction is to argue and say, what do you mean Jack Eichel has all these turnovers? I don't think
argue? Are you kidding me?
Exactly. So before I did that, though, I did the responsible thing. I went on Money Puck and I looked up to see where Jack Eichel's giveaways ranked. Jack Eichel in the 25-26 season per Money Puck ranks second overall in most giveaways at 44 giveaways, 2 giveaways per game. So that gets me wondering, okay, is this normal for Jack? How does this whole thing shake out? And really fast, just some of the other players who are in this area.
Where is Shea Theodore on here?
He's nowhere to be
That's crazy. I would have thought he'd be near the top.
Scrolling. Shea Theodore is 40th overall.
Come on,
31 giveaways.
Wow.
So 11 less giveaways. But the names are interesting here. Martin Necas, David Pastrnak, Zach Werenski, Rasmus Anderson, oh boy, Morgan Riley, Leon Draisaitl, Rasmus Dahlin, Connor McDavid, Mackenzie Weegar round out the top 10 in giveaways. So a lot of really good players. So follow me down the path here. 24-25, Jack Eichel had 90 giveaways in 77 games, 1.16 per game. 23-24, and that ranks 71st overall. 23-24, he was 117th overall, 42 giveaways, 63 games, 0.66 per game. Stanley Cup year, 75, ranked 75th overall, 54 giveaways, 67 games, 0.80. So we are seeing this shift where Eichel was under 1 turnover a game to now where he is exactly at 2 turnovers per game. Is this system? Is this because he is shooting more, Tony? Is this because, he's getting a little more selfish with the puck? Is it because he has no choice but to do these things because he's on the only line doing anything? Or, why this is happening, I guess, is the biggest question that I have. But at the end of the day, we're talking about a potential Selke candidate. And looking at the amount of giveaways that he has, I think even if his face-off metrics get above 50%, if his giveaways, if he's in the top 3, 4, 5 overall, or 6, 7 overall, then I don't know if he would have that Selke consideration.
Well, just a couple of things here. I'm just curious, past Selke winners, where they rated, right?
Good
when you
question.
look back, and take in giveaways and takeaways and plus and minus on that too. It is systematic, I think, to some degree, because you've got Jack Eichel, who's playing that, quote, I hate to say, the 200-foot game, but he's up and down the ice. And yes, he is bound to turn over the puck. He's got the puck. Would it be safe to say?
But explain why the turnovers have gone down, or why they've gone up, though. What's the difference?
He has the puck on his stick more frequently than in the past, I would have to say. With more ice time, I think he has the puck on his stick more frequently. And I think that's pretty much it. And he's not trying, you know what? I don't think he's trying. He should protect the puck more, yes. But I don't think within the framework of his game, he's overly concerned about giving up the puck because he's trying to play more freely. Does that make sense?
No, that's fair what you're saying. And if he's playing, I mean, listen, if the puck's on your stick more things, there's going to be more events that are going to happen,
Exactly.
Good, bad, and otherwise.
Exactly.
And that's fine. That's a fine theory.
There's no stat that has, stick time. Is there?
There's possession metrics. I'd have to go deep in. There are possession metrics. I don't know if they go down to puck on the player's stick. That's a great thing to look at. Not enough time in the next 2.5 minutes. But, okay, so Alexander Barkov is your last 2 Selke winners.
Okay.
And in the 24-25 season, Barkov played 67 games, 52 giveaways in 67 games, which is right around where Jack Eichel was in the 22-23 season. Jack Eichel already has 44 giveaways in 22 games versus Barkov's 52 giveaways in 67 games, and Barkov was 338th overall. Barkov in the 23-24 season is also your Selke winner. Let's see where he is here. 237th overall, 31 giveaways in 73 games. So giveaways, your Selke winners do matter. Now, we're only talking one. We're not talking the other. I don't know who the other candidates were. Not enough time to look that up, but there's a pretty sizable gap here. Barkov, very responsible with the puck. And my concern isn't the fact that Jack Eichel is at 2 per game. My concern is the change of where he was 4 seasons ago to where things are now. Goes from averaging 0.66 giveaways per game and 0.80 giveaways per game all the way up to 2 per game. So something has changed. And again, we've talked in the offseason about Coach Cassidy's new, system that's going to be more shooter friendly and things and all that.
What new system?
I'm with you. I'm just going off what was discussed all off season. Right. That's my thing.
But his role's expanded, Chris. His role has expanded.
Has it?
I believe so.
Has his role expanded? Or is the other team playing like dog crap and not keeping up to him right now?
Did you look at the amount of minutes that he plays per game? So he's on the PK. He's on the PP. Hate saying that. And then, of course, he's skating regularly in 5v5. And what else, I don't know what else we want that guy to do. And I'm not really concerned. I mean, are fans more concerned too? Oh, the 2 superstars back-to-back games cough up the puck. I think that's more of a concern. And, we're paying them so much money. Why are they giving up the puck? Well, that happens a lot of the times. And they both were absolutely horrific turnovers.
Real fast, I have an answer to your question. Minutes per game. Stanley Cup year, 1846, 23-24, 20-31, 24-25, 20-32, and 25-26, 30 seconds more per game at 21:02. So sure, there's more time on the ice, but I don't know if that's equates to his turnovers going from 1.16 to 2 per game.
What will the Golden Knights lines look like at full strength when everyone's healthy, if there is such a thing? We'll talk about it next right here on Lockdown Golden Knights. The NBA is so back, there's no better place to get in on the action than at FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has all of these live bets that you could take a look at on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting. It keeps you into the game, and it sure is a lot of fun, whether you are looking at individual stats or if your team is making a late run in the NBA. So right now, FanDuel is giving its customers $300 in bonus bets that you could use across the application when your first $5 bet wins. So head on over to FanDuel.com, do it today, sign up and play your game with FanDuel. And FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Welcome back on this edition of Lockdown Golden Knights. From Las Vegas, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. We appreciate you making us your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On NHL Game Night. That's something that you definitely need to check out. And I was over in between meetings and everything else. So my nephew's in town. I dropped him off at the MGM. He's a huge basketball fan. I think he shredded on every game. I think he had a ticket on every game, small parlays, had fun out there at the MGM Grand. Got him there at 10 a.m., had to go to Channel 5, had to go to a couple of other stops, driving around the city, got back there, left the arena last night. It had to be like 11:30. So by the time the UNLV game, and they lost, by the way, by the time they lost that game last night to the University of Maryland, it was the University of Maryland versus the University of Maryland Parkway, and UNLV lost. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And today's the second day. You know, each team, Chris, gets $1 million in name, image, and likeness money for the team. And I don't know how they divvy it up, but it's a really unique concept, and it's just absolutely growing. It's like March Madness. It really is here in our city. So you did want to talk about the line combinations once everyone is back. And again, the top line, perhaps we see Barbashev, Eichel, and Stoney. But the second line is the one that I'm thinking about here and how that's going to shake out. So it consists currently, Chris, of Tomas Hertl, Mitch Marner, Pavel Dorofeev. And again, when Stone returns and even William Karlsson, will there be any modifications to that second line? Or is it Stone? Is it his spot on the top line once he returns? It should be, according to what we've heard, the middle portion of December. He should be back. He should be back by American New Year's.
I'm with you on the top line. I think Stone does go right back to Bowman's spot, although it is interesting that at least there's a conversation about a rookie with less than 10 National Hockey League games keeping Mark Stone off the top line. That's a good thing, folks. It's a really good thing. But I think Stone definitely goes back to that top spot. Second line, I think you leave it as is and you let them keep working things out for a little bit. Short leash, but you give him time. Mitch Marner did get moved around yesterday a little bit down to the third line for a little bit during yesterday's game as well. So something to keep an eye on right there. But third line, this is where things will end up getting interesting. And then who ends up being the healthy scratch? So where's Braden Bowman going to go? Is he going to go back to Anderson? Are they going to keep him?
Fourth line for Kolasar.
Does Kolasar even stay in this lineup is a question you need
That's
to
the
have. I mean, two
question.
players are coming in, two players need to go. That's the first thing. For me, I think Saad and Reinhart are the two that probably go, but I think Kolasar should certainly have consideration there. On that third line, I mean, is there a path where that third line does become William Karlsson in the middle, Brett Howden goes to the left, and Braden Bowman's on the right wing? That's an interesting combination right there to talk about.
And
That's
then
a real
Riley
interesting
Smith on the
combination.
fourth line. Would you put Riley? Where's Riley?
Yeah,
Smith?
Riley Smith down on the fourth line with Sissons and Kolasar. Smith isn't going to play that bump and grind type role, but he's going to play responsible. He's going to play defense, and maybe he'll find a way to get some offense going from a fourth line who has done next to nothing. I don't think nothing in that regard. So at least you have Smith and Sissons out there together, two very responsible players. Kolasar might decide to start hitting some. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully he will. A couple other things you could do. I mean, you could put Stone on that second line. You could put Marner back on the top line with Jack. You
Eventually,
could keep Bowman up top.
I think that happens eventually. I do. I think that they'll put Mitch Marner back on the top line. But again, like Cassidy, though, like that was concerning to me when he said that the reason why Eichel likes Bowman is because he likes his wingers to go to the front of the net.
Which Stone does pretty well too, Tony.
Right. Stone does very well, yes, but that's not Marner. That was my point. That's not
right.
Marner.
No, that's fair. But again, you go back to the first couple of games, especially that first game of the season where Eichel and Marner, you're like, whoa. Like, again, there's only one puck. Only one person can shoot the puck. I get all those theories and everything, but watching those two, just how fast they were in transition and the chemistry, it was amazing. It was something we've never seen in Vegas before. It's like watching McDavid and Draisaitl out there. It really was.
It's great when they're clicking. It really is.
When they're clicking. When
Jack doesn't turn the puck over, and I guess as you would say,
turnover. He's a turnover machine. And if anyone wants to argue, go out and look at the stats, and then come back and argue with me. But just look at the stats first.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that. I'm not all in on that only because, again, I think he's got more responsibilities, even 30 seconds more or whatever. He's playing on every single unit.
It's more pressure.
And I'd like to see. It's not possession time so much as it is stick time. Is there such a stat as stick time?
I'm sure there's something with puck on this. I'm sure there's some type of puck possession metric out there that we can maybe dig up for the offseason.
Yeah, a lot of those players just play on the one side of the ice. They don't play as well defensively. So I'm going to stick up for Jack.
And it's fine. I'm just simply, the stats dictate he's a turnover machine.
Yep. And it is a good problem to have with all of those lines there and the combinations once they're 100%.
100%.
We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers. For my man, Chris Golick, it is feast week here. Of course, we'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
Oops.